Big action video. Get the dark truth about the blind side of Michael Oher. A lot of controversy going on right now. Michael Oher is saying these people use them. Let's get into it.
Story that inspired the movie The Blind Side has an impossibly happy ending.
Former NFL player Michael Oher, the truth blindsided him when he says he learned his family was not legally his own.
Says it was all based on a lie.
Michael Oher spent his entire career protecting quarterbacks' blind sides. Sadly, nobody was there to protect his blind side. Oh my God, I should be writing for Hollywood. If they weren't on strike, I'd apply. Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for her portrayal of Leanne Toohey in the film The Blind Side.
If you hear something in the woods, you tell me.
No, that's Bird Box, where she was blindfolded the whole time. The Blind Side is about the Toohey family adopting teenager Michael Oher, a 6'5", 300-pound blossoming offensive lineman. They took him into their home and helped him get into Ole Miss, where he went on to have an 8-year NFL career with the Ravens, Titans, and Panthers, winning a Super Bowl with Baltimore. That happy story, that feel-good performance from Bullock, turns out it may all have been a lie. Well, at least according to Michael Oher, who filed a lawsuit against the family who took him in, the Tooheys. He claims they tricked him into signing a conservatorship instead of an adoption and used that power to make a lot of money off his name. Is that true? What did the Tooheys say in response? And are all feel-good stories just big lies? I swear to God, if I find out Lord of the Rings is fake...
Everybody here is weird as hell.
I did put the in for all 20. Senior, your back is against the wall. Now keep that in mind when you think about the timing of this lawsuit. Or went on Jim Rome's show yesterday to promote it.
One theme from this book and some of the other interviews you've done is that what you see is not always the truth. And that there's a lot of narratives out there that may not be even attached to truth.
And to be safe, CBS should really tell Michael Oher that was not Jim Rome interviewing him. Now, former NFL tackle Michael Oher, known for his life story portrayed in the 2009 film The Blind Side, has taken legal action by submitting a petition to a Tennessee court. If you haven't seen The Blind Side or don't know who
I think everyone on planet Earth has seen The Blind Side, nigga. Get into the video.
Michael Oher is... Just kidding. We all fucking know this story, right?
Tell him to sleep with one eye open.
You threaten my son. You threaten me.
A loving, well-to-do family adopts a young kid who was kicked into foster care because he had 11 brothers and sisters and a mom who battled drug addiction. And worst of all, he never had a bed.
Never had one before.
What, a room to yourself?
A bed.
They helped him cultivate his athletic talent so he could go to college at Ole Miss and be drafted into the NFL in the first round by the Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens select Michael Oher, offensive tackle, Mississippi.
And eventually win a Super Bowl. We all know that story. In these claims, though, Oher...
The crazy part is that this nigga actually went from like that, like no mind the like the lawsuit or whatever. He actually went from that to actually getting drafted in the first round and winning Super Bowl with the Ravens, which is crazy to think about. And he made it to another Super Bowl with the Panthers, which is crazy to think about.
That a key aspect of the narrative, which depicted his adoption by a wealthy white family as a way out of destitution, is a fabrication concocted by the family itself to profit at his expense. That wealthy white family...
So, retired NFL star Michael Oher, who's supposed to be adoption out of grinded poverty by a wealthy white family, was immortalized in 2009 movie The Blind Side. Blase, blase. I actually met the guy who played in The Blind Side. I met. You know what I'm saying? I actually met the guy who played Michael Oher in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Got a whole picture with him. And took him to their home as a high school. Never adopted. Instead, less than 3 months after Oher turned 18. The petition says the couple children to signing a document making them his conservators, which gave them legal authority to make business deals in his name. That is crazy. Well, Lord knows. I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, like, maybe. I mean, he did just turn 18. But at the end of the day, me, the upper timing. I'm already thinking like I'm 18. You can't adopt an 18-year-old. You can't adopt an 18-year-old.
Family, of course, the Flaccos. Nobody on earth made more money off of Orr's football abilities than Joe Flacco after Orr protected his blind side in 20 football family, of course, himself to profit at his expense. That wealthy white family, of course, family itself to profit at his expense. That wealthy white family, of course, the Flaccos. Nobody on earth made more money off of Orr's football abilities than Joe Flacco after Orr protected his blind side in 2012. The season the Ravens won the Super Bowl and then were forced to give Flacco $120 million.
Flacco, well, he was hit when he threw it. And Michael Oher, the rookie right tackle, caught it.
Orr also claims that the Harbaugh brothers switched places for 1 month and nobody noticed. Now, the comprehensive 14-page petition contends that Sean and Lee and Tui, who welcomed Orr into their home during his high school years, did not formally adopt him. Instead, the petition alleges that shortly after Orr's 18th birthday in 2004, they manipulated him into signing a document that designated them as his conservators. This move granted them legal authority to negotiate business transactions on his behalf. It's saying they told
let's go back. It says the petition further alleges that the Tuohys used their power as conservators to strike a deal that paid them and their 2 birth children millions of dollars in royalties from an Oscar-winning film that earned them more than $300 million, while Orr got nothing for a story that would not have existed without him. Bro! $300 million that they give to their birth children and them, but Michael Oher has nothing. This right here is some bullshit, bro. This enrages me. This enrages me. 300 million. I can see okay, they got 1 million, and it was just split between the 2 of them. Nigga, they got 300 million and give it to their birth children, not this nigga, bro, who actually made them the money. Bro, this is why, bro, what?
To negotiate business transactions on his behalf. Called disparities between the 2. Had he been adopted, Orr would have had full legal membership within their family and retained control over his own financial matters. The father in this scenario said this: Michael was obviously living with us for a long time, and the NCAA didn't like that. They said the only way Michael could go to Ole Miss was if he was actually part of the family. I sat Michael down and told him...
Well, that's just not fucking true, because he got a scholarship. This nigga is a first-round draft pick of the NFL. He's going to any college he wanted to. Y'all want him to go to Ole Miss because that's what y'all went to.
If you're planning to go to Ole Miss or even considering Ole Miss, we think you have to be part of the family. This would do that legally. We contacted lawyers who had told us that we couldn't adopt over the age of 18.
So this right here, Michael's obviously in a long time, and NC didn't like that. They said the only way that Michael could go to Ole Miss was if he was actually part of the family. Cap. I sat Michael down and told him, if you're planning to go to Ole Miss or even considering Ole Miss, we think you have to be a part of the family. This would do that legally. We contacted lawyers who told us that we couldn't adopt over the age of 18. The only thing we could do was to have a conservatorship. We were concerned about the up and down to make sure that the biological mother came to court. This is fucking cap. You knew you couldn't adopt. This is lining up. They knew what they're doing.
The only thing
Finesse
we
my man
could
out of
do
300
was
million,
to
bro.
have a conservatorship. We were so concerned it was on the up and up that we made sure the biological mother came to court. So put simply, Oher claims that they told them the only way he could get into college is if they became his conservators, which was just a fancy name for adopted parents. Now, I have no idea who's telling the truth here, but I do know that at the age of 18, I had no idea what a conservatorship was.
Right.
I didn't know what that was until I watched the It's Britney Bitch documentary. The
Right.
Tuohys, specifically Sean Jr., who would be Orr's brother in this scenario, claims Oher knew he was in a conservatorship the whole time, which he did, but he apparently...
Well, for 300 million, nigga, you lie about a lot of shit, wouldn't you? 300 million? 300 million? I might lie on my mama. What are you talking about? This nigga is lying. Look at this dog. He's living all lavishly. What are you talking about?
apparently didn't know until February what the legal ramifications actually meant. Now, the Tuohys have persisted in referring to the now 37-year-old Oher as their adopted son, leveraging this to promote their foundation and Leanne Tuohy's endeavors as an author and motivational speaker.
Bro, they should be ashamed of themselves.
She now goes around the country telling other white
Ashamed.
women how to scout left tackles with raw potential but troubled family lives. She's like the exception. Premise of becoming a part of the family did not bestow upon him any actual familial ties, or should have realized this when he was given a pass for not showing up to Christmas dinner, honestly. Also, hoping his parents aren't real, eliminate the potential audit as unspecified, chronicling their story. The two.
Okay, the petition alleges that the Tuohys began negotiating a movie deal about their relationship with Michael Oher shortly after the 2006 release of the book The Blind Side, Evolution of the Game, which chronicled the story. According to the legal filing, the movie paid the Tuohys and their two birth children each $225,000 plus 2.5% of the proceeds. Reportedly goes over 300 million and the tens of millions more in home video sales. The film received an Oscar for Best Picture, won Best Actor. While the deal allowed the Tuohys to profit from the film, the petition alleges a separate 2007 contract whatever that said, perpetually, whatever the fuck it means. Signed by Oher appears to give away the 20% rights to the stories without any payment whatsoever. The filing says that Oher has no recollection of signing the contract, even if he did. No one explained the implications to him. Basically, what this sounds like is like we have a family of the Tuohys who know business. These niggas are in his ear finagling him out of money. Michael Oher is probably listening to the Tuohys to get their sense on what he should do. So he's just listening to them. He's trusting in their knowledge. He considered them family. So when they're telling him, "Oh yeah, you can go ahead and sign it. It's not that big of a deal." While clearly the Tuohys know they're doing business deals on the side to make sure that not only them but their two children get paid plus 2.5% of the proceeds. So these Tuohys right here are some scumbags, really, to be honest with you. But this nigga right here who made this video is really on some bullshit, so you're not gonna watch the rest of this. Anyway, so make sure you like, comment, extra next. Doses.